Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the fourth episode of Mushoku Tensei. And last episode, our boy Rudy finally went out and made a friend, like a friend his age, not like the Roxy tutor who was kind of a friend, but a tutor, so it was a little bit different. This was him actually, going out, seeing someone in need, getting to flex some of that heroic saving that he's been meaning to do. He's excited he's grown so powerful, so he can actually do that now. And as a result, they became friends, and they play around a lot, and there was a bit of a misunderstanding between them, but eventually got cleared up and they made up and they're friends and it's all good. So what are we going to get with this episode? I'm not quite sure. I'm sure there's still plenty to do in the plot and there's plenty of more characters to meet, so maybe we'll do some of that this episode. I guess we'll just have to find out. So let's jump on in. 3, 2, 1, play. Bum, bum, bum. That was not the right thing. Bum, bum. What did she do? Oh, we're having a sibling. I mean, that's pretty cool, I guess. Right. I guess it would be a pretty good reason to get excited then. Oh, I okay, that's a real surprise. What? When did that happen? Yeah, that's definitely what I'm curious about too. I mean, I mean, I well, damn, uh, I, I don't even know what to say to that. Wow, I don't know what. Uh, I mean, where do we go from here? Ow. Well, this got awkward real quick. I still kind of can't believe that just happened. Wow. That might be the most surprising thing in the whole show so far. That makes things very interesting. I mean, a lot can come of that. Uh, yeah, I mean, especially between these two, I mean, things gotta be a little awkward, to say the least. Uh, uh, and I'm still just kind of sitting here half stunned. Yeah, we're gonna become a big family. Yeah, that's a big question. It's like Rudy's half sibling. So, what do we end up doing? Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I assume there's bandits and stuff out there, so. Yeah, I don't want to picture that. I imagine. Man, the atmosphere in this household has never been so tense. Yeah, she's a keeper. We can't get rid of her. What are you gonna do? What can you do? I mean... yeah, playing dumb. I mean, a child this age, usually, you know, like a real child would be very confused about what exactly is happening. Man, just gonna put all the blame onto him. I mean, I guess that's all we can really do. Wow. Man, she was already pretty angry at him. This is just gonna... yeah, I knew she was gonna take it that way, but she... I mean, yeah. As long as it leads to Lilia staying here, you know, I'm okay with throwing some extra blame at him. That's another good point. He's gonna send away his half-sibling. Possibly to die. Did that do it? That did it. Rudy too powerful. There you go. I'm glad we're not kicking her out. But I'm sure, you know, still pretty mad at him. Like everyone. Look forward to that. I mean, you have no one to blame but yourself, so I really don't have much sympathy for you. Yeah, seriously. I think Roxy had some of that too. But okay, this definitely clarifies things a bit. You hear that D in action every night, you want some of it, I guess that makes sense. Just keep walking, man. It's not worth it. I mean, maybe it is. Who am I to say? I mean, I just look at that. I wouldn't be able to keep walking either, honestly. Rudy's a good kid. He likes you. Freaking Rudy. Not a devil, just a hikikomori. I am curious if we'll end up with brothers or sisters or one of each. Nord and Aisha, okay. Those are our names. And those are our babies. Something better to do than playing with a baby? Don't be silly. I can't quite tell the genders of the babies. I mean, one has pink, but... and blue. Is that supposed to imply one's a girl and one's a boy? At least you can tell who's who because of the hair, like which belongs to which mother, but... And apparently Sylph is here too. It's a very lively house now. I mean, yeah, she's pretty grateful to you. I mean, putting it mildly. Wow. Just threw a rock at him. Because in Magic, yeah, that's one thing Paul can't do. I don't think he wants to become exactly like you. Damn. I mean, look at that jiggle, though. Yeah, let's not push your luck, man. I mean, you get a lot. Yeah, one day you'll do that to Sylphie, I'm sure. That's because you're kind of scum as well, you know. What about school? Are we gonna eventually go to school? It's okay, so he's getting to be about that age. Well, yeah, but it's a good chance to make more friends and develop social skills and maybe a harem. That's a bit of a sore point. What's wrong with them? The things he says to his child. I'm sure there are. Yeah, he would know about that. Right now, Silpa is the only girl that he has. But I'm sure more will show up. So what's Silp's opinion on school? Well, yeah. I can make bubbles, 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 bubbles. Did you just tackle him? Well, I guess more of a hug, but a tackle hug. Yeah, she definitely doesn't want to lose her friend. Maybe we could take you with? Yeah, you can't leave after that. Yeah, priorities. Figure. Looks like it needs to be painted, but... I wasn't doing anything. A letter? From who? Oh, Roxy, yeah, Roxy, okay, yeah. Took me longer than it should have for that to click. Seventh Prince. How rude. I mean, some things are universal. She is not amused. Was it worth it? uh, would you like another fireball, sir? There are plenty. Yeah, you school. But you mentioned said university. Wouldn't they be a lot older than him? I knew she could do it. Oh wow, that is impressive. I would not do that. What are you saying? It was someone else clearly. There could be cute girls there. Ow. Paul. You're gonna get kicked again, aren't you? Yeah, it was cute. It's sad. uh, gotcha. I can see why I called that a unreasonable request. I mean, those are decent points. But the show is called Mushoku. Can't get a job. But wow, that's some dedication. Well... Yeah, they didn't get to say much in that discussion. So who's coming? Is it Roxy or... Get, get, how do you pronounce that? I don't think I've seen you before. Well, welcome to the house. We're glad to have you here. Welcome. Ghislaine. Jesus Christ, that chest. It's gonna break through any second. Yeah, I bet you want to grab that. Just, and the overall design is something special. So yeah, I guess we are just leaving now. I would say that's not gonna happen. He is good at arguing. Just gonna throw him in there? Jeez. Or no, just do him in general. Okay, I guess we're fighting now. Let's go, I guess. Watch your step, Dad. Oh. Yeah. Man, that is some really cool fighting style. Yeah, otherwise you'd be dead. Okay, well, maybe just like knock him out and throw him in the vehicle so he wouldn't be able to resist. I'm still not exactly sure what we're doing here. Because we mentioned the academy, we mentioned getting a job. Is this connected to either of those things? That's, yeah, the girl, Gika Hapa Shushu, whatever her name was. Ghislaine, I think is how it's pronounced. Yeah, I bet. And I guess this is pretty much the end of the episode. Emergency family meeting, yeah, I bet. Yeah, that was quite the episode. I mean, pretty much every episode of this show has been quite the episode. Like, there's kind of never a dull moment in this show once it got established. I still don't quite get what's happening with that, though. Because I don't think we as the audience have ever seen her, but they clearly, you know, Paul and them seem to know her. He mentioned not seeing Sylvie anymore right before the fight. So the whole thing came across as he would not want to go with her, wherever they're going, whatever they're doing. So he just knocked him out and threw him in there. But I don't get it beyond that. If I'm not supposed to understand, that's fine, but if I just misinterpreted something, you know, let me know. Yeah. Next time, a young lady and violence. That... okay. Okay. Who's the young lady in this case? Well, that was the 4th episode of Mushoku Tensei. And, man, where do we even start with this episode? Like, okay, so pretty early on, we had some news about there being a baby on the way. Rudy was gonna have a younger sibling. That's pretty cool. Everyone was pretty excited. Paul was excited. I wasn't like super shocked about that or anything. I was just like, oh, cool, baby. I guess that's fine. Having his younger sibling. I mean, I think Rudy wanted that, but he may have at some point said that he wanted that. But, yeah, so I just thought, okay, cool, that's fine, whatever. And then they dropped the real bomb on us a little bit after that, which was that, Lilia, I think is her name. I haven't said her name very much, so I don't quite remember her name that well, but I think it's something like that. Anyway, she had some news for us, too, and that was that she was pregnant as well. And, after she said that, my first thought was, is Paul the father? But then I thought to myself, yeah, that's probably not the case. That's just probably just some secret boyfriend that we don't know about. It's all good. But at some point they clarified that he indeed was the father, and damn, did that make things very awkward and tense in this household. Ugh. Right. I mean, this thing is not, of course, not unheard of, but it also just can do a lot of damage to a family for sure. So after we had that news and everyone knew what was up, we just had everyone sitting around looking pretty upset and gloomy, and because what is the mother's name? Zenith, I think it was, right? Yeah. So she's obviously upset with Paul because he betrayed her, and she's obviously upset with Lilia as well because she's a trusted member of the household and she also kind of betrayed her in a way. So, in one fell swoop, she's now very upset with both of them, right? So, it's just a matter of what to do, because the baby itself is, Rudy's half-sibling, so we don't really just want to, outcast her out into the wilderness where the baby may or may not make it, we don't want to do that, So we have, basically, the main focus of the scene was just kind of Zenith and her perspective, because she was kind of like the biggest decision maker here about what exactly to do, essentially. So she's just sitting there very conflicted with all these feelings, I can't even imagine just the sheer chaotic mess of feelings and just conflicting mixed feelings she has that she's trying to that she's just kind of sitting there trying to process, and everyone else just kind of worried about what the end result will be, and I'm sitting here wondering what the end result will be, because whether or not we force Lilia to leave or not that has a big effect on the rest of the show, of course. So, and Rudy likes Lilia. He doesn't want her to go away, so he ended up essentially becoming the deciding factor, because he's pretty smart, because of his whole isekai thing he's got going on, and he just has a lot of leverage in general as, her beloved child, right? So if anyone had a chance, because he's the only one that didn't do anything wrong in the scenario, both Paul and Lilia both made a mistake, but Rudy's just a child that's sitting there, supposedly doesn't have too much of a grasp on what's going on. At least that's what she thinks, because he's just a child, but he has a lot more insights, wisdom, perspective than she might expect. So he's in kind of like the perfect position to manipulate the mother into doing what he wants her to do, right? As messed up as that sounds. But he did it, He basically tried to shove as much blame as he could towards the father, which which makes sense, all things considered, and in the end convinced her to let her stay, let the baby stay, and then we're all just kind of like a big old happy family over here, right? And I'm sitting here, I don't have too much sympathy for Paul because he's clearly in the wrong here, but then for the show kind of want to make it a bit more gray, a bit less black and white, by giving us some insight into Lilia's thoughts on the process. And this whole thing was, despite the narrative that Rudy was trying to spin for his own, ends, Lilia basically elaborated that, she kept hearing those sounds and she wanted some of it, and as a result she seduced Paul in order to get it. We just see her sitting there on her bed, completely just no clothing, the door opening up so you could see that, we just see that dripping naked body. If I could jump to the screen, I would have walked to that door too. So at that point it was a little bit harder to blame Paul, but still, at the end of the day, it's essentially a matter of mistakes were made on both sides. You can choose who you want to blame if you want to, I guess, but there is blame on both sides, to be sure. Whichever one you blame more just kind of depends on your personal biases, really, at the end of the day. But we all managed to stay together, which is the important thing. And yeah, Paul just in general, last episode was when we first actually started to see that Paul, despite overall, you know, being a pretty good father, definitely has flaws as a human being with how he dealt with the whole scolding Rudy thing, with the whole conflict with the bullies, right? And they expanded on that concept quite a bit more with this episode, because he made a pretty big mistake in this episode as well. So, but Rudy still looks up to him because he's still a master swordsman, still a pretty good father overall, despite mistakes that he makes. So just a lot more depth to a character that you would usually expect not to get a whole lot of focus, you know, like parents in anime generally don't. But they've done a lot to flesh him out as a character, which I definitely do appreciate, for sure. Like, even more so than the mother, honestly. I don't know if we'll get more with the mother, but man, that was a mouthful. I feel like I said a lot there, but I don't know what else. I mean, that was the biggest thing with the episode, honestly. I'm not sure what else to really say. Obviously, the schooling was brought up as a thing, right? Because if he wants to expand his education, generally going to an actual well-renowned, famous school would be the way to go, right? And that was brought up. What was it called? Ronoa something or other university, right? Roxy sends him a letter, you know, about how she's doing, which was cool. I'm glad we got some bit of a reminder that Roxy exists. I do appreciate that. She's doing all right, doing pretty good. Got some fancy position, whatever you want to call it. And Sylph, you know, Sylphie doesn't want Rudy to leave. That's a bit of an awkward thing. So he's trying to, like, work things where he can go to the school and kind of take Sylph with him, essentially having your cake and eating it too, kind of, you know, trying to keep that promise but still do the thing. But that does cost money, so he was trying to get the family to do that, but essentially said no. He's like, okay, fine, then I'll make the money myself and it'll be great. And I thought he agreed to that. But then we had the scene at the end where some lady showed up who, I wonder if I can find a good shot of her overall design. I think she shows up right about here. Yeah, I mean, first of all, those abs, right? Ghislaine, I think was her name, right? Yeah, her overall design, she very much looks kind of like a, almost like a berserker kind of warrior, you know, Amazon berserker kind of character. You know, she has like a nice fluffy jacket thing that's mostly off of her, so we can, you know, see that chest, which is just barely covered, honestly. And she also has like this eye patch thingy, which tells us that she has definitely seen her fair share of combat, probably lost the eye in combat. I mean, that's kind of an assumption, but I think it's a safe assumption. And she also has ears, so full on like beast kind of character. So like a beast, berserker, Amazon kind of character. I don't know exactly how you would describe that kind of character, but that's how I describe her. And she even had a tail. She had a tail. And of course, Rudy was excited about the beast person showing up. Yeah, so Norn is the full-blooded sibling, and the other one was the other one. Okay, good thing they mentioned in that scene. Yeah, we did have Lilia say that she'll miss him, so she obviously knew that he was about to leave. And of course, her mother does as well. We look forward to your return. And then he says, hang on, what are you? So yeah, clearly Rudy does not quite get what's happening. So this isn't just like some simple thing we planned out for him to go do something. This is something he's kind of being pushed into. I just don't know what it is. Like, what is the plan here? Obviously, don't spoil me if it's a spoiler, but I'm just curious what exactly is going on here. I'm sure they'll clarify early next episode, because Rudy and Ghislaine, they're in the same vehicle, so they have nothing to do but talk, so I'm sure she'll clarify then, but yeah, we just had a big old battle. At first, I thought the point of the battle was to kind of like for a bit of like a test for Paul to see if he really is good enough to, you know, be done training under him or something like that. That's how I rationalized it in my head. But then it seemed more like he was just trying to knock him out and force him to go. That's what it seemed like in the end, but I don't know. But we're riding somewhere. I know that much. We're going somewhere. So I guess we're saying goodbye to the house for now. And yeah, just a really good episode overall. A lot of surprises. A very surprising episode. This show in general has really been the least predictable isekai I think I've ever seen. I think that's fair to say. I really do think that's fair to say. Like, the amount of times I've just been surprised, shocked, and stunned about what I was watching. It's happened a lot, like more so I can remember with any other isekai anime in recent history. So I'm definitely very excited and curious exactly where things go from here. So yeah, hopefully I can watch the next episode in the not too distant future. So yeah, until then, bye-bye. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki and Ryan for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.